Welcome to the show. Tonight we'll take you into the wild and discover some beautiful and stunning places right here in Victoria.
We'll catch a free ride on the historical City Circle tram.
And we'll also ask people around Melbourne what they think about the Mikey card.
All this and more coming up tonight on Melbourne 22.
Hello and welcome back to Melbourne 22. I'm Aaron McCarthy.
And I'm Kate Garrard.
Welcome back, Kate. Good to see you again.
Yes, thank you. Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
Well, that's a little bit awkward. Guys, don't forget that you can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.
And you can also jump online at the address below. I did miss you. You can also jump online at the address below. You can tweet, message us any suggestions regarding Melbourne 22. Now, Kate, here in Victoria, we have a beautiful and diverse natural environment, which you may have seen. We can all enjoy this environment with trips to the beach, holidays, weekend camping, etc. But what if I told you that these places are at risk of disappearing altogether? The people at the Wilderness Society are dedicated to ensuring that this doesn't happen.
The Wilderness Society is a not-for-profit, non-government organisation with campaign centres in all Australian capital cities. With a head office in Melbourne, our city is the stage for many of the organisation's major activities. The Wilderness Society's mandate is to promote, protect and restore Australia's unique and beautiful wilderness areas, recognising its significance and the importance of preserving the natural environment for future generations. The organisation is funded by member donations and relies heavily on volunteers to carry out its work.
My position at the Wilderness Society is Victorian Community Campaigner, and that involves working with all of the volunteers that come into the office and all of the volunteers that work outside of the office in the community. And we work on various projects, and my focus is Victorian forests, so our aim is to protect native forests in Victoria.
They are widely respected by government and lobby groups alike due to their commitment to peaceful, non-violent campaign methods. The organisation promotes community awareness of Australia's wilderness and the threats it faces through public activities, exhibitions, film, conferences and talking to people on the streets.
To become a member, you can sign up online, you can post into us, or if you happen to stumble across one of our many wilderness defender campaigners that are on the street, they're out there doing a great job daily, speaking to the public, telling them what we're doing with our campaigns and getting them on board as members.
Wilderness Society campaigns include stopping the logging of old-growth native forests to make office paper and taking legal action to prevent the destruction of the pristine Kimberley region by the building of a giant gas hub.
We're seeing an increasing level of concern in amongst our community and the volunteers that are coming in. The environment is a hot topic. It's very important to a lot of people these days, and really it's important, or should be important, to everyone because it affects everyone.
The members of the Wilderness Society strive every day to protect Australia's diverse and spectacular natural environment.
And with the world moving forward at such a fast pace these days, it is absolutely imperative, the work that the Wilderness Society are doing.
It certainly is. So here in the studio today, we're joined by Kevi Sato Sanyu. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
How are you today, mate? Now, my pronunciation is not the best. Can I call you Kev?
I'd really prefer it if you call it by my full name.
Okay, and what's your full name, sorry?
It's Zapuvitso Kevi Sato Kejavelia Duncan Sanya Measatu.
So,
You got that?
So Kevi it is, I guess.
Fine.
Yeah, great.
Excellent. So, Kevi, for people who don't know much about the Wilderness Society, can you just tell us a little bit about what you guys do and how you help?
Well, we're a conservation organisation. Started out in 1976 with the Franklin River campaign. A lot of the oldies will remember that one. But yeah, we're one of Australia's largest ENGOs with over 45,000 members across the country. And I personally would say one of the most successful. And so primarily what we do is look after and protect some of our last remaining wild places in the country.
Now, the Wilderness Society has run a lot of successful conservation campaigns in the past. What are some of the bigger campaigns you guys are working on at the moment?
Here in our Victorian office, we're primarily focusing on two areas, and that is the protection of Victoria's forests from logging and also the Tarkine in the northwest region of Tasmania. It's one of the largest lost wilderness areas in the world. CNN, in fact, just rated it the #1 wilderness area in the world.
Oh,
Bit
wow.
of a good plug.
That is very impressive. Okay, so go on. What are some of the other details of this project?
So it actually has the largest intact tract of cool temperate rainforests in the southern hemisphere and the second largest in the world.
Wow.
It has rolling hills of button grass. The coastline is actually considered one of the highest populations of cultural heritage sites for Indigenous people. It has 16 endangered species, including the Tasmanian devil. So the Tarkine is actually the last stronghold for the healthy population of Tasmanian devils. We've had huge battles for logging in the Tarkine before, and thankfully it's protected from logging for the most part, but the next threat is mining. They've got the proposal for 9 open-cut mines in the Tarkine. One of them alone, it's called Mount Lindsay, will be 3 kilometres by 3.5 kilometres. So we're talking over 10 times the size of Melbourne CBD.
Wow.
That's that's pretty awful. Now, it's not all bad news though. As you were saying earlier, you've had a couple of successes recently as well.
Yeah, so it's all not bad news. We do have some campaign wins as well. So recently we just had a major win up in the Kimberley, which is the northwest region of Australia. It's an absolutely majestic region. I went there last year to sit on the blockade for a little bit and support the local community. So it actually holds one of the largest humpback whale nurseries in the world.
Wow.
The coastline itself is the most pristine in the world apart from the Arctic and Antarctic. And I guess James Price Point is a very special place for the wider community and for Australia's history because it's a place where an Aboriginal elder called Paddy Rowe first introduced and welcomed the wider community into learning and getting involved with the Indigenous people.
So a lot of cultural heritage and history there as well.
Yeah.
Now, the work that you guys are doing is amazing. If people want to find out more, where can they go to?
Please come to visit our website. It's wilderness.org.au. And also we've got our office up in Brunswick Street in Fitzroy. We're a really friendly bunch, so pop up and say hi. The building's called Kindness House and a big love heart out the front.
Oh, beautiful. And otherwise, just go and hug a koala on the street.
Yeah.
They're always out there. So, Kev, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Well, it's nearly time to take our first break, but first we spend some time with a man who dedicates his time to fixing bicycles and then cycling around the world. Stay tuned.
I've done a lot of cycling and stuff around the world, and I'd always cycled as a child, and I just saw it as a good job where you come to work every day and you're happy with what you're doing and things like that. Yeah, it's just nice to see people happy with, getting out on their bikes and enjoying something that's simple and environmentally sustainable. There's certainly different trends in all the different countries with cycling, and I find here in Australia, people are divided into recreational cycling and also your commuting and stuff like that. In Europe and things like that as well, as most people know, that there's a really strong culture there for removing cars and basically primarily relying on bicycles as a form of transport. I think we're definitely heading in that direction here in Australia, which is fantastic.
Coming up next, find out what Melburnians think of the Mikey card system.